Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
I'm Miss Brown, and you are?
I'm Jack. How are you?
I'm good, Jack.
That's good.
Any last names?
Robinson is my last name.
Okay,
Would you like my middle name as well?
that's not needed. Okay, so before we begin, I have to go over the terms of our confidentiality policy. Now, your information will not be shared with anyone except possibly my supervisor and other members of the agency. Also, if you inform me of any suicidal or homicidal thoughts, that has to be reported. Also, family violence and sexual assault. For your safety. So how this will go today is I'm going to get some information from you about your circumstances, what you're going through, what you hope to get out of this interview, and then we'll schedule more appointments after that. So here's the confidentiality paper. You have to get that signed with your parent because you're a minor.
Okay.
So what brings you here today?
Well, I'm sorry, it's kind of embarrassing to talk about it.
Oh,
But
take your time.
for the past, I want to say 3 years or so, I go to my grandma's after basketball practice or whatever. Um, and I don't know, for ever since I was born, she always had like some type of hatred or something towards me because she felt like my mom cheated on my dad or whatever, and she didn't think that I was her son's son. So and it started happening about 3 years ago where I would come home, well not home, but I would come to my grandma's house after basketball practice because my mom works at night. And my dad is always in and out of jail. I barely see him, so I would come to my grandma's house after basketball practice, and some days I would literally just be chilling, like I wouldn't be doing nothing, and I'll do my homework or whatever, and she'll just come up behind me and just hit me like with objects. Like one time she hit me with a shoe, like a tennis shoe, like an actual shoe. She's hit me with drop cord. She's hit me with a broomstick. She's hit me with so many things. It gets overwhelming at times, and I couldn't really figure out what it was at first, but I figured that it had something to do with her not thinking that I was my dad's son because I heard her talk about it one time to my granddad, and my granddad's such a suck up, man. He does everything that she does, so he'll even try to hit me sometimes too, but the thing is, I'll actually fight him back because he's a man, you know. So, but I can't hit my grandma. I just can't do it. Um, but yeah, it's been going on since I was about 13 years old. I'm 16 now, so yeah.
So how often do you go to your grandmother's house?
After basketball practice, so I practice like 4 times out of the week, so about 4 times a week.
And so about how often is the abuse going on?
Every time.
Every single time?
Every time I go there.
So pretty much your mom's working, your dad's not around too often, and you go to your grandparents.
I can count on my hands how many times I've seen them. Like every time I've seen them, it's literally for not even an hour. Sometimes he'll just pop up just to go get something to eat or whatever, but it's literally I can only count on my hands one hand how many times I've seen him in my entire life.
Okay, so you go over there after basketball practice 4 days a week, and the abuse is happening every single time you go over there. Is there anyone that you talk to about this? Have you talked to anyone?
Not really. I mean, sometimes I'll hint it, like I'll hint towards my other siblings. I have a sister that's older than me, so sometimes I'll talk to her, but I don't tell her exactly what's going on. I give her scenarios. So I tell her, like, my friend said that his grandma does this and this and this to him. What should he do? And she gives me advice like that. But I never come out and just to anyone and really just tell them that my grandma's beating them. I mean, would you?
Well, I'm not sure what I would do in this situation. I understand that it's very difficult. So, how do you enjoy basketball practice?
Oh,
Is that
I love basketball.
you love
I
basketball?
love basketball.
How's school going?
School's great. The thing with being on a basketball team is that they won't allow you to be on a basketball team unless you have a 2.7 and over. So right now I think I'm sitting at like a 3.2 or
That's
something.
great.
Yeah, my mom really taught me like at an early age that in order to get anything you're gonna have to work hard for it. And basketball is what I want to do. So in order to do that, I can't play basketball without having good grades. So it kind of goes hand in hand.
And the relationship with your mom?
I love them. That's my honey bun. I love my mom.
And you haven't told her about any of the abuse going on?
But the reason I haven't though is because I feel like if I do, one, she'll look at me differently. I feel like for the rest of my life, she'll just carry something in her mind that says my child was getting beat every day, and I don't want her to see me like that. I don't want her to see me as that type of person. But I also feel like it'll divide up the family because let's just be real. I'm probably not gonna go see my grandma anymore, and I love my grandma. I may not like my grandma, but I love my grandma, and it would just for me to not be able to go see her, I would understand it, but it would kind of put a divide in the family.
hmm Okay, so what do you want? How do you want to go further? Like, what are your plans? Like, do you not want to go to your grandma's house? What are your steps into making sure that this doesn't continue to happen?
Well, what I would like to happen is after basketball practice, I would like to go to like maybe my sister's house or maybe just one of my homies' house or whatever. Only for the simple fact that, like I said, I love my grandma and I could love her from a distance. She still comes over for holidays or whatever. I could see her then. I just don't want to be like alone with her in her house. I just don't want to do that. We could, go out to a public place for sure. Like
hmm
I just don't want to be alone with her.
Okay, so as mentioned earlier, our DSS policy is I do have to report the abuse. Okay, so
Okay. It, you said you're reporting it to your supervisor.
mhm.
Is that gonna be the only person that knows my business?
Well,
Can you
it
can
did.
you can you make it so that that's the only person, or do you have to tell?
Well, I have to follow policy and procedures, and I don't get to make that call. I will explain to my supervisor how you feel, but like I said, it does have to be reported. So pretty much what I have here is that for 3 years now, you've been being abused by your grandmother. Haven't really told anybody. You've hinted it to your sister, and she gives you advice. What type of advice does she give you?
Well, when I tell her, usually, like I said, I tell her that my friends are going through something, and she basically tells me that they need to tell someone. They need to tell their parents, or they need to tell their counselor, or if they don't have a counselor, they need to go to counseling because to be real, that is kind of something that it could take a toll on you. That's something that somebody should or would have to get counseling about. I could see it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So she tells me stuff like that. Go talk to a counselor or even talk to a social worker. She's told me that before too. So.
So I will provide you with resources to counseling if that's what you would like, and I'd recommend that you continue to do basketball since that's something you really love. And I need to know what you would rather do instead of going to your grandmother's house. to
Um,
make your situation a bit better?
well, I can. What I could do is I could probably just because I mean most of the people I hoop with they stay like within my neighborhood. Some of them, a few of them do. So I could probably go over there after basketball practice or whatever. I'm sure their parents wouldn't have a problem with it if I just stayed for a few hours until my mom got off work.
Okay, so I suggest that you let your mom know what's going on. Tell her what you would rather do. I know it's going to be very difficult to do, and I know that's not something you wanted to do, but she is going to find out because, like I said, this incident will be reported. For one, it's been going on for way too long, but I suggest you tell your parents what's going on so that she can get in contact with your friend's parents. That way, y'all can set up arrangements for you to go over their house. If that doesn't work, maybe you can go to your sister's house. So I will schedule an appointment with you at another time. I will call you the same way I got in contact with you for this appointment,
Hmm.
and we'll go from there. So we have about 5 minutes left. Is there any questions that you have?
Um, and the next time we meet, is it gonna be you?
Yes, it's gonna be me. I'm on your case.
Okay, because I like
Thank you.
you.
So in our next meeting, we'll set up an actual plan to help your situation and things like that. And then from there, we'll try to put the plan into action. I will see how it's going. We will set up goals every time we meet. And then
What type of goals?
goals for you, maybe like to help you get through this, because we're not going to let you continue to go to your grandparents' house.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
figured that.
that's probably not going to happen after meeting with my supervisor, and we obviously have to meet with your parents.
They're probably gonna think she's a monster or something.
I'm not sure,
I mean,
but
she's a sweet lady, but it's just I don't know. I don't know why she's taking it out on me like that. I don't know why she hasn't just like asked like my mom or something. I don't know. Like that's the thing. When we got the DNA test, she's seen the results. Like we got it done as soon as I was born. Like as soon as I came out, my dad was there. My mom was there. They did the paternity test, and it came back that I was his, and she still denied it. No, that's no. I don't believe that. I don't believe so. And
yeah.
she and I always hear her. She admits that I look like them. Me personally, I don't see it. I don't think I look like my mom or my dad, but she says it all the time. But she still does what she wants to do, I guess.
Okay, yeah, like I said, I understand that this could be very difficult for a 16-year-old, for anyone at any age.
Yeah, for sure.
But like I said, I will call you to schedule our follow-up appointment.
Okay, I'll save your number.
Okay. And I'll see you next time. Okay.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much.